It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This episode is brought to you by Disney+. Disney+, Hulu, ESPN Plus. Stream all your favorites with the Disney Bundle. Disney+ has Loki and Luca. On Hulu, watch originals like American Horror Story and 9 Perfect Strangers. And ESPN Plus has every match of Spain's thrilling La Liga. Get the Disney Bundle today for only $13.99. Includes Hulu ad-supported plan. Access content from each service separately. Terms apply. See thedisneybundle.com for details.
You are Locked On Buccaneers, your daily Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, and welcome to Game Week on the Locked On Bucs podcast. I am James Yarko, joined as always by David Harrison. You can find everything that we are doing over at bucsnation.com. Make sure you follow along on Twitter at Locked On Bucs, at JYarko_Bucs, at DHarrison82, and at Bucs_Nation. We'd like to welcome in all of our new and returning listeners. If you're new to the show, welcome to the 2021 NFL season, because David, we have actual football to talk about this week, because in 3 days from now, the Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys are kicking off the NFL season on Thursday Night Football. We made it. We made it.
That's right, James. The NFL season is about to begin, and nobody covers it like we do here at the Locked On Podcast Network. And oh, by the way, August 30th through September 8th, Locked On's Ultimate Season Preview is taking you through every team, every division, with the help of Odyssey's Ross Tucker and Jason Lockenfora. Follow the Ultimate Season Preview 2021 feed on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts to tune in beginning August 30th, which was it was about a week ago. So you
and I'll jump in real quick, because I do believe that today is the NFC South preview episode.
Well, there you go. Hear everything you love about the NFC South, minus me, because I was not on that episode. But James was there representing the Locked On Bucs podcast. Well, I'm sure. I haven't heard it yet, so I'm going to be listening and critiquing and judging, as I have with every other divisional crossover special. So yeah, make sure you catch up on those. Make sure you catch the NFC South version. But James, all that is in preparation for football to begin. Like you said, this week, game week is finally here. Week 1 is finally here for everybody except for Zach Martin. Clarence Hill Jr. of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reporting on Sunday that Dallas Cowboys Pro Bowl right guard Zach Martin has tested positive for COVID-19, and because of that, he will miss the season opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Martin is fully vaccinated, but because the season opener is a Thursday night game, he cannot clear NFL protocols in time to play. Mike McCarthy, the Dallas Cowboys head coach, was reported as saying, quotes, he's frustrated, obviously, but hey, this is the world we live in right now, end quotes. Connor McGovern, backup right guard, will start in place of Martin and another offensive lineman. So not only is it hitting Dallas Cowboys starters, but also hitting a little bit of their depth. Brandon Knight could also be held out of Week 1's game against the Buccaneers as a close contact. There's going to be more to follow on that. They're currently going through the process as we record. This is just the latest, honestly. I mean, Buccaneers fans don't typically keep up with the Dallas Cowboys, but just to kind of update everybody, this is the latest in a recent flare-up for the Dallas Cowboys related to COVID-19. Wide receiver Noah Brown of the Ohio State Buckeyes, by the way, still on the COVID-19 list. Left guard Connor Williams, starting left guard Connor Williams, just came off the list Sunday. So Sunday was Connor Williams, their left guard's first day back at practice after having COVID or being on the COVID-19 reserve list for 2 weeks. And as soon as he comes back, they lose Zach Martin. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, safety Malik Hooker, safety DeMonte Kazee, defensive tackle Carlos Watkins, and defensive coordinator Dan Quinn have all missed time this preseason due to COVID-19 protocols. So some big Cowboys concerns on the offensive line. Beyond that, even too, James, it gets even better. Lyle Collins, their right tackle, dealing with a stinger, quote unquote. That's what it's been reported as. Practice Sunday for the first time in over a week. So he's going to get 2 or 3 days of practice max before Week 1, and after having no practices for over a week as a right tackle of the Dallas Cowboys. And oh, by the way, the left guard who just got back, he missed 2 weeks of practice due to COVID. And we also know that from other athletes, conditioning has been a big issue with players following COVID, not just the week they come back, but even months later for some of them, depending on how hard it hit them. So, I mean, the fact that Connor Williams was out for 2 weeks with COVID, I mean, that suggests that it hit him pretty decently, right? So conditioning concerns at the left guard. You're missing your right guard. Your right tackle has been missing. I mean, there's just a whole slew of problems for the Dallas Cowboys offensive line there. So, I mean, what do you make of that Dallas Cowboys mess on their front line, James?
You know how when I tweet the games for Bucks Nation, I do like a weekly GIF theme?
I am familiar with your work there, yes.
I think week 1 has to be Stephen King, strictly so that I can use, you guys want to come see a dead body? Because Vita Vea is going to murder Connor McGovern on national television Thursday night. That dude does not stand a chance. I feel sorry for Dak Prescott. This guy has battled back from one of the most gruesome injuries in probably the last decade at least. And he is going to be running for his life. Now, on the flip side of that, of course, you have Jerry Jones, who has built this up as the Cowboys David versus the Buccaneers Goliath. And the Cowboys could be hyped up. They could be pumped saying, you know what? It doesn't matter who we're missing. Next man up. Let's get this done. Let's shock the world on the first game of the first week against the defending champions. But losing Zach Martin's a huge blow. Speaking of COVID-19, we do have Ndamukong Suh, quote unquote, set to come off the COVID-19 list on Monday. And that is according to Tampa Bay Times' Rick Stroud. However, Jordan Whitehead is still dealing with a hamstring injury, and he possibly will not be available for week 1. That kind of seems to be the sentiment going around that Jordan Whitehead is probably not going to be ready to go. So, you know, you have some bad news for the Cowboys, and you have kind of a mixed bag here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, getting Ndamukong Suh back on Monday is going to do wonders for the Buccaneers defense. Obviously, you know, fortunately, really, Ndamukong Suh really not missing a whole lot of anything critical up to this point. So if he does indeed come off of the COVID-19 list, and I mean, what we can confirm is that he has been tweeting while he's been on the reserve COVID-19 list. And I have a feeling that if he was really that bad or, you know, stricken down with COVID-19, that he would probably not be tweeting some of the stuff he's been tweeting. Some of the things he tweets about require quite a bit of brain power. And, you know, when you're ill, you usually don't have as much brain power as normal. So use that for what it's worth. That's in no way any type of scientific gauge of how healthy or unhealthy Ndamukong Suh is. But all eyes, of course, are going to be on the field Monday. And I mean, if Ndamukong Suh's not out there, that's obviously going to be a reason for concern. But assuming that everything goes well and he is back, then just good news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and even worse news for the Dallas Cowboys dealing with their injuries and their woes on the offensive line, knowing that the Buccaneers defensive front is going to be as healthy as it's been really since before the Green Bay Packers game this last January. As far as Jordan Whitehead is concerned, obviously you don't want to miss your starting strong safety. You don't want to miss any starting players, right? But at the end of the day, when you look at this roster with Mike Edwards, with what Ross Cockrell has been able to do, I mean, if you have to miss either Ndamukong Suh or Jordan Whitehead, you know, again, you don't want to miss anybody, but if you have to pick one of the two, you'd rather be missing Jordan Whitehead, I think, in this situation over Ndamukong Suh, because even if Mike Edwards or Ross Cockrell's back there playing that kind of strong safety, quote-unquote, role, even though neither of them is really a traditional strong safety, that pass rush up front and that front seven being healthy is going to help everybody in the back end of the defense no matter what. So, obviously, a net positive for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And listen, if you can give Jordan Whitehead a little bit more time to deal with that hamstring, I mean, I know that, you know, Drake once said that sprained ankles ain't nothing to play with, but I'll tell you right now, hamstrings are even worse. So that's kind of my all-encompassing thoughts on what the Buccaneers have going on.
All right, well, David, we've said it once, we'll say it 1,000 more times. Football season is back, but let's make the most of it with a better way to create your custom pool at runyourpool.com, the premier sports pool hosting service. Run Your Pool makes it ridiculously easy to run a football pool with friends, family, or office mates. They offer dozens of formats, including Survivor, Pick'em, Squares, Margin, Confidence Pools, 33, and more. Run Your Pool hosts formats for NFL and college football with 1 week games, full season, playoffs, or the Super Bowl. Unlike other fantasy sports platforms, Run Your Pool has options and settings to make it your own. You can even brand your pool for your local business, bar, or restaurant. Reconnect with friends and join nearly 2 million football fans to make every game action-packed this season. And real quick, David, we are running our own Run Your Pool Survivor Pool, and we will be awarding a prize for whoever wins. So make sure you join. There's no limit on how many people join this pool. So jump in. What do you have to lose? You pick one team. You can only choose each team one time. You got to run through 18 weeks of football now and pick a winner every single week. Whoever finishes at the top will win a prize from us. And I haven't run this by you, but I'm also thinking maybe whoever wins our Survivor pool gets an automatic entry into our fantasy league next year, since so many people missed out on that. So to join that, you can check the pinned tweet that we have up on Twitter, or you can click the link in the show description. It will take you directly to our pool. Check out runyourpool.com today and get $10 off at runyourpool.com/locked on, or use our promo code locked on at checkout. Anywhere, everywhere in the world, Run Your Pool helps friends and colleagues compete. The NFL season starts September 9th. Start today at runyourpool.com/locked on and have your pool up and running in minutes. Runyourpool.com/locked on.
Football is not returning. Football is back. And this last full week of college games was insane. Minnesota Golden Gophers almost pulling up a huge upset over the Ohio State Buckeyes. And if Muhammad Ibrahim doesn't get injured, hopefully that young man is going to be okay. But if he doesn't get injured, they may very well pull it off. But as it is, the Ohio State Buckeyes, if I remember correctly, their line was 13.5 points against Minnesota, end up pulling out a 14-point win. So if you bet on the Buckeyes and you took the points, you made some money potentially at betonline.ag, your number one spot for all your pro and college football action this season. Get your updated odds, props, and contests, including online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest and the world's largest $200,000 NFL Survivor contest. Open now at betonline.ag. Head to the website, sign up today, and receive a 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use a promo code Locked On. Be sure you also take advantage of their opening day super promo. You make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th season opener between the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the offensive lineless Dallas Cowboys. If you lose, your wager will be refunded up to $25 for new customers only when signing up using the promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports, from football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. So don't wait. Take advantage of all the great offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Segment 2 here at the Locked On Bucks podcast. David Harrison and James Yarko on Twitter at dharrison82, at jyarko_bucks. The show at Locked On Bucks. James and I both writers for BucksNation.com on Twitter at Bucks_Nation, part of SB Nation. James, we've had some voicemails sitting in the inbox just a little while. So let's go ahead and fire them off. In this voicemail, a question about the city of Tampa, but also some good old-fashioned Locked On Bucks Fantasy League trash talk.
Oh, geez.
Yo, what's going on, Locked On Squad? It's your boy Mo Mackin out here in San Jose, California. Future Locked On Bucks podcast fantasy football champion, but we won't talk about that just yet. Hey, I got a quick question. I going to Ray J for my first time Dallas Cowboys game. Man, I want to know what you guys feel are some do's and don'ts in Ray J. Some absolutely good food spots there, some drink spots, because I will be doing both. And what is there to do, or what does the team do? What do the fans do before the game? How are the tailgates? Just give me a little update. I know how we do it over here in California, but I don't know how we do it down there at Raymond James. So go ahead and help your boy out. Happy Monday, guys, and hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Mo, thank you very much for the call. And look, my 12-year-old son begs to differ about who the Locked On Bucks fantasy football champion is going to be. Matthew Stafford is not taking you there, buddy. He's just not. I hate to be the one to tell you that, but
I'm here for all the Locked On Bucks fantasy football trash talk. I just want to let everybody know that.
I will bring Beckett on this show to talk smack to anybody that calls in talking about this fantasy league. Mo, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but when I was just down in Tampa for a week, my wife and I did not really get the opportunity to go out and get anything, kind of different. In fact, about halfway through the trip, she got hit with a little bit of an illness, not the Ronas, nothing like that. But we just really didn't get the opportunity. We ate a lot of public subs. I had a couple of Cuban sandwiches. I, for the life of me, David, can't remember the name of the delicious seafood place that I did have while I was down there. And I'm sure it'll come to me, and then I'll get yelled at by the locals of what a stupid, it was Shell's seafood restaurant is what I had. And I'm sure the locals yell at me, why did you waste your money on Shell's? You should have gone here. You should have gone here. Well, I went by Google reviews and what was near me. I was a fish out of water. But I would say make sure that you check out the What the Buck tailgate. I'm sure that is still going on. You want to get down there for that. They always have great drink deals, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of fun. Great spot to go. You pay a small cover, and it helps out a charity. That would be my recommendation for the day of the game.
So Mo, future Locked On Bucks fantasy football champion, thanks for calling in. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I, unlike James, have a very poor memory. So just like James, I'm not going to be a whole lot of help here. So I do remember that the first place I got a Cuban from was a West Tampa sandwich shop. That's literally what it's called, if I remember correctly. And that was very good. I did get a Cuban sandwich from another location that was not as good, but it was still good. You know what I mean? I can't remember the name of it. There was a mall right next to my hotel. That's honestly where I spent most of my time that I wasn't working. But while I was there, it was training camp. So I was up early, getting ready for training camp, going to camp, and then recovering from the Florida heat, doing shows, doing writing, all that stuff. I'm more of a homebody anyway. As far as in the stadium is concerned, I can tell you that the press box food is awesome. You know what I mean? Raymond James Stadium's press box food is amazing, but it's different than what you're going to get at the club level or in the rest of the stadium. So that doesn't really help you much. But the city of Tampa is beautiful. From what I was able to see, again, I didn't do a whole lot of touring. I'm not much of a tourist person anyway. It's just not my style. Matt from Pew Report and I did hook up, and we went and got wings at it's a chain place, but it's like right there near Raymond James Stadium's. It's a chain restaurant place. It was pretty good. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But enjoy your time in Tampa, man. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the Bucks win, and then hopefully enjoy your first fantasy football win of the fantasy football season. But James,
I will jump in real quick to let Mo know they just announced a lot of new additions to the food at Ray J. There's going to be an Aussie grill, which is run by Outback Steakhouse, if you like their food. Little Caesars Pizza is going to be in there. Wing House, they're going to have some concessions in there. And then there's going to be drinks from Coppertail Bar and Vizzy Hard Seltzer, if you're a seltzer guy. So there are going to be some new options in the stadium. But outside of that, yeah, I'm with David. I can't help you much more beyond that.
Yeah, Mo's not a seltzer guy, and if he is,
I wouldn't think so. But
Mo's not allowed to be a seltzer guy anymore. And for me, when I travel and I drink bourbon in my hotel room. Again, I'm a very boring individual.
Bacardi and Cokes for me.
We have another voicemail, so let's kick it over to that before we get out of segment 2.
All right.
What's up, David? What's up, James? It's Greco. Hey, look, I was scanning the forums, the Buccaneers forums, and it looks like there's some Bucs fans who still think our secondary is quote-unquote trash. I don't know how Bucs fans came to this conclusion, but could you give us your personal analysis of what we were seeing last year compared to what we're coming into with this preseason? And is there really legit concerns about the secondary? Now, we know all teams are going to have problems. They're not going to be perfect every single game. But are we really sweating bullets here or what? Anyway, I'd like to hear your analysis. Talk to you later, fellas. Go Bucks.
Greco! Always great to hear from you, buddy. Look, this secondary came into last season with a chip on their shoulder. They were told numerous times by numerous rankings and numerous outlets that you are the worst secondary in the league. Then they went on a run at the end of the season. They were intercepting passes. They were batting down balls. There's a lot of pressure on them this year. Now, they are not trash. They are by no means are they trash. And you have Antoine Winfield Jr., who is a budding superstar in this league, now in the second year of Todd Bowles' defense. So he's going to be reacting instead of thinking and reacting, which is going to make him that much better. Now, the secondary is perfectly fine. They're going to get but they're going to get theirs more than they got.
Here's what I'll say about any secondary, and this goes for any secondary in the National Football League. Any secondary without a pass rush up front is not going to do well because you can't cover NFL receivers, tight ends, running backs all day. The pass rush has got to get to the quarterback within 2 to 5 seconds, or else there's going to be a completed pass or a run. It's just how it works. So as long as the Buccaneers front seven is intact, then the back end is going to continue to enjoy that. Same thing with quarterbacks. Quarterbacks without an offensive line, you're not going to do very well. Dak Prescott is about to find out. But something that you guys can find out about is all the services that DirecTV is bringing to you, because today I want to tell you about a simple way to get all of the entertainment you love without the hassle. I listened to James talk about his entertainment, and he's got this account over here, this stick plugged into this thing over here that he streams from this location, do all this stuff. Listen, DirecTV Stream brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, which means you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So stop waiting. Get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. Again, that's directtv.com to find out more about DirecTV Stream.
You know we are passionate about Built Bars. Here are the flavors available: raspberry cheesecake, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond, orange, strawberry, coconut, mint brownie, salted caramel, raspberry, double chocolate, cookies and cream, cherry barcia. These are not only the best tasting protein bars, but they are certainly good for you. 17 to 18 grams of protein, 130 to 180 calories, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. Go to built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, and you're going to get 15% off your order. Again, promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. Wrapping things up here on a Monday edition of the Locked On Bucks podcast. James Yarko, David Harrison on Twitter at @JYarko_Bucks, at DHarrison82. Wrapping up the first show of the first game week of the season, David, and we have one more voicemail to get to.
So we actually have two more voicemails because we had two from Greco in the inbox that I was not aware of. So here's the other one. This one should be fairly quick, though.
What's up, David? What's up, James? I just heard the breaking news. Mac Jones will be starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. So I want to know, what does this do for the hype of that game up in New England? Your thoughts on Mac Jones and him starting? And will the Bucks be successful? All right, boys. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.
I really don't think it's going to do much to the hype of the game, David. Honestly, I mean, you were going to have the storylines anyway. Brady and Gronk against his old team. It's Brady versus Bill. What's Bill going to do to make Brady uncomfortable? Switching it out from Cam Newton to Mac Jones isn't really going to change Mac Jones. Mac Jones. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have the guy who's been in the league for 22 years, and you're going to have the guy who's probably not even 22 years old. It is what it is. Brady's going to go up there and beat the ever-loving snot out of the Patriots to stick it to Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's Brady versus Belichick. Even Gronk is kind of a footnote in this whole conversation. Now, where the hype or where the excitement around this is going to come is if Mac Jones and the New England Patriots beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, then you will see the hype and excitement about the passing of the torch and da-da-da-da-da. But until that happens, it's just kind of another footnote in this whole thing where it's, again, it's Anakin Skywalker if he was a good person in that movie series versus the evil, Dark Lords and all that stuff. But here is back for his victorious return to our voicemail line, James Yusuf from Phoenix.
Hey guys, this is Yusuf out here in Phoenix. I know it's been a minute, but it's been a long summer for me. From the Phoenix Suns losing the NBA Finals after being up 2-0 to the Milwaukee Bucks was devastating, to say the least. Took a little bit of a break, a very small break, before the Tampa Bay Bucks got into training camp and the preseason. So forgive me if I've been a little absent. Anyway, I'm back. Gonna probably do my takes during after every game if I can. Anyways, I've been really impressed with Joe Tryon. Joe Tryon has shown tremendous get off the ball. I've just seen so much from him. I really wish that sack wasn't taken away from him during that Cincinnati game, I believe, because that call was crap and everyone knows it. So I'm really excited for him to see what he does in the season. Also been impressed with Kyle Trask. Again, he's been playing with backups and stuff, and that's going to be the case for at least another year, maybe more. Who knows? Being behind Brady, but that drive that he did against Houston was great. Poise in the pocket. Love to see it. Anyways, guys, just a couple of my thoughts on what's been happening this preseason with the Bucs. Guys, take care, and thanks for all you guys do.
Yusef, always great to hear from you. If I hadn't seen you posting on Twitter, I probably would have filed a missing persons report. I was starting to get slightly concerned. Joe Tryon Shoyinka is going to be a problem for opposing offenses, especially. I'm so excited, and we're going to see it unveiled Thursday night. I'm so excited to see how Todd Bowles incorporates JTS along with Shaq Barrett and JPP, because at some point all three of them are going to be on the field at the same time, and the backup offensive linemen that are going to have to try to carry the load for Dallas are probably going to need to change their pants once that happens.
Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
If I'm Todd Bowles and I'm facing a depleted Dallas Cowboys offensive line, I'm not putting the three of them on the field at the same time unless I have to. I'm saving that for when I need it. You know what I mean? Now, maybe like once or twice, but that'd be pretty much it. Like the beautiful thing about the preseason is, and this goes for when teams do really well and when teams do really poorly, is everybody's kind of keep in mind they're using about 10% of what they really have. Now, when you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're returning all these starters. Everybody has a year's worth of film to study on you and to watch. So ingenuity becomes important. Creativity becomes important from a coordinator standpoint and all that stuff. And adding some of these new pieces that the Buccaneers have to defense certainly helps with those kinds of things. But if I'm Todd Bowles, again, I would want to win the way everybody already knows I can win until a team starts to show me that I need to unveil some of my new stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
that's fair for sure.
Now, what I would do is definitely give JPP a breather. You put Joe Tryon-Shoyinka in his place. Give Shaq a breather. You put Joe Tryon-Shoyinka in his place. So you're going to see number 9 on the field, but basically he's just going to be doing what one of the other guys would be doing in his place anyway. But unveiling the new stuff where you've got Joe Tryon-Shoyinka standing up over the center, Shaq and JPP on the edges, Levante David and Devin White lined up behind all three of them. And oh, by the way, you've got Vita Vea nose to nose with the center, and Ndamukong Suh, Will Golston, and that's your front 8 lineup. And you've got pass coverage because offenses nowadays we're starting to see kind of the counterbalance, right? Defenses have gotten smaller, they've gotten faster to account for the passing game. So what are we seeing? We're seeing more 12 personnel, we're seeing more 13 personnel to account for the running game because now it's easier to block some of these smaller linebackers. Well, you come out with the front 8 that looks like that stacked up against a 12 personnel package or 13 personnel package, and your defense still has the advantage. You know what I'm saying? I would save that kind of thing until I needed to unveil it, maybe give people 1 or 2 looks at it. But anyway, that's just me. I can't speak for Todd Bowles. Definitely love what we've seen out of rookie Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. I like what we've seen out of Kyle Trask. Looking forward to not seeing him again until late next spring, rather, on the next preseason. Definitely looking forward to not seeing Kyle Trask play any more football until 2022. But from what we've seen, absolutely, it looks really great. Yeah, Yusuf, sorry that your son's lost. I mean, James can attest. I pretty much gave the Bucs no chance to beat the Phoenix Suns. Still shocked that it actually happened, to be quite honest with you. But, it is what it is. At least they were there in the fight, you know what I mean? So hope you're doing well. Glad to hear from you again. But nobody's going to blame anybody for not calling in during the offseason and the preseason because that's the slope. That's the less fun part, right? Everybody wants to talk about the real stuff, which is why we're already seeing the voicemails kick back up. And I'm sure that following Thursday night's win over the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to have plenty of voicemails to fill our reaction episode.
Absolutely. And with that, David, we are going to get out of here. Another quick reminder, check the pinned tweet or click the link in the show description to join our survivor pool. It is free to enter. It's free to create an account at runyourpool.com, free to enter our pool. If you win, you are going to receive some sort of prize. David and I haven't quite hammered that out yet. Could be a gift card of some sort, could be some Bucks merch. We're not real sure quite yet, but if you win, you will win something, and it's all for free. Make sure you check out everything going on over at bucksnation.com. Make sure you're following along on Twitter at LockedOnBucks, at JARCO_Bucks, at DHarrison82, and at Bucks_Nation. Hope you all have an absolutely outstanding day. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, be good to one another, and we thank you so much for joining us right here at Locked On Bucks.